little controversy in the public radio world. We'll see if we can at least get one side of the story tonight.
The Dan Yorke State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Taco Comfort Solutions.
Welcome aboard. Latino Public Radio is in a little bit of a squabble and against a deadline right now for its broadcast to continue to air on AM 1290. I guess I got a lease agreement with public radio in general, and there's some transactional dispute what's going on here. One says we'd like to buy it. The other says, I don't know. We're not exactly sure, but we'll see if we can't get the nitty-gritty details on that tonight, and see if we can bring a little bit of, I don't know, perhaps we can influence the solvency of the situation with our discussion. Great to have you aboard. Thank you for tuning in on this Holy Thursday. Speaking of, we will have conversations about the converging calendars. We have both Passover being observed tomorrow and the most solemn day of the Christian year, Good Friday, and we have both the Christian and Jewish conversation on tomorrow's show, so make a note of that. A couple of things in the news before we get started on this public radio situation here. The president has done it again. Headline, the VA director is out, David Shulkin. Here's the latest on that.
President Trump fired yet another member of his administration via Twitter Wednesday. Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin. The president wrote, in part, I am thankful for Dr. David Shulkin's service to our country and to our great veterans.
Mr. President, thank you so much.
The decision ended weeks of speculation that Shulkin, an Obama-era holdover, was on his way out. Earlier this year, an inspector general determined that Shulkin used taxpayer dollars on a lavish trip to Europe for his wife. He paid the money back after it became public.
I've made the decision to reimburse the Treasury, to follow the IG recommendations, and I'm committed to doing what we have to do to focus on veterans and make this better.
The president intends to nominate his personal physician, Dr. Ronnie Jackson, to replace Shulkin as head of the VA.
The president's overall health is excellent.
Back in January, Dr. Jackson gave President Trump a clean bill of health after performing the first medical exam of his presidency. He's likely to face some challenges in getting confirmation.
Yeah, like he's never run an organization before. I mean, this seems to be as impulsive gets, and David Shulkin now is fighting back on both social and other media, and I don't think this one's going to be a pretty go-away for the Trump administration. The VA is too important to seemingly be run by somebody who doesn't have administrative experience at all. So I'm not sure what the president's doing here, but I don't think this is going to be a smooth road in the transition at all whatsoever. Stay tuned on that. Coming back home, this is something that caught our attention. Just want to throw this headline up. Mandaka school security check headline. This is a state lawmaker who wants to generate $650,000 from the general fund to reimburse schools for security. And he's saying that an evaluation on school security runs about $1,500 per school, thus the $650,000 that he's asking for. And, you know, conceptually, I support that. I've been saying that this whole gun safety, gun control heat up since Parkland has been missing, I think, constructive conversation about hardening targets. Even the red flag motions that the governor went through after the Police Chiefs Association brought that to light for pending legislation. She's putting she's putting groups together and she's jerking around with the situation. But I see no urgency to take a hard look at how to harden targets. But the problem is that you generate $650,000 to show everybody what we probably could do in each school, and then you don't have a pot to you know what in to get it done. And this $1 billion school renovation program is really only $500 million because $500 million is already built into the budget over the 5 years that the governor is talking about. And most of the money that's been allocated for the first stunt of $250 million is going to go to East Providence because they're first in line because their place is a den of iniquity. I mean, it's just it's a sewer. How they've let that building go the way they have, all the buildings, is just incredible. So I don't know, but let's see what every school needs. That ought to cause quite the conversation. I don't know where the money's coming from. And here's another money coming from conversation. In the Valley Breeze, we've had a lot of this lunch shaming stuff lately, where, you know, a kid shows up, doesn't have the school lunch money, and the oh-so-kind cafeteria workers dump the lunch or shove a cheese sandwich in the kid's face. And it's pretty well, I think, understood from most reasonable people that that's no way to handle school children. Problem is, in Cumberland, they got a $40,000 deficit since they stopped lunch shaming, and they don't know what to do. Maybe hire somebody that works credit. Maybe somebody in the office just has to make a phone call and let the parents know that lunch shaming is one thing, but you got to pay the bill. There's got to be a solution to that. We shouldn't be seeing $40,000 deficits simply because you're trying to do the right thing. There might be, at some juncture, some parent shaming that has to go on here if they're capable of paying that bill. But we should never shame the kids during school, no doubt. And what else do we have here before I get to my, well, that's really kind of the list of things I wanted to get to today. Here's a headline on the topic of conversation this evening. Latino Public Radio trying to halt, Latino Public Radio trying to halt station sale. Don't be confused. They're not trying to halt their broadcasting, that's for sure. Here's a mini package Eyewitness News did on this.
For more than a decade, Latino Public Radio has been broadcasting music, news, and information to Rhode Island's fast-growing Spanish-speaking population.
Latino Public Radio is the only source for news for this community.
But now the outlet is just days away from losing its spot at 1290 a.m. on the radio airwaves. Latino Public Radio currently rents the signal from its owner, Rhode Island Public Radio, and was planning to buy it. But last week, Rhode Island Public Radio announced its plans to pull the plug after the deal fell through. CEO Tori Malatia saying, quote, "We regret the budget realities at Latino Public Radio meant we couldn't complete the station sale as both parties had hoped. We're grateful, though, that they intend to continue reaching their audience online." But Latino Public Radio CEO Reynaldo Almonte says he's not giving up. Earlier this week, he met with Attorney General Peter Kilmartin's staff in hopes that a 2005 law could block the sale of the AM frequency. He's also seeking a $400,000 loan from Rhode Island Public Radio to complete the deal.
A lot of listeners are angry about what's going on, and they're saying why they don't hold the Latino community.
Huh. This is fascinating stuff. Welcome. Nice to have you.
Thank you.
Reynaldo and I have seen each other over the years at press conferences and really never had a chance to say hello to each other. So a new relationship, I hope.
Yes.
I want to get into the transactional stuff in the next segment, but let's just foundationally explore what it is that you've been doing at 1290 on the dial for how many years now has Latino Public Radio been operating?
Latino Public Radio, 22 years.
How long have you been there?
The 22 years.
All that 22 years?
All that 22 years.
Okay, so clearly more than a market niche, you would consider yourselves to be the lead news and information place for the Latino community.
We are the only one in the Latino community.
Yeah, exclusively designed to program in Espanol.
En español.
Yeah,
sí.
yeah. What kind of stuff do you do over there on a day-in, day-out basis? What kind of programming you offer?
Well, we do the news, we do calling programs, educational shows, go outside and get the news stories of the day.
Yeah, so you're churning it over much like WPRO would be doing on a mainstream basis. It's kind of, I'm sure it's not duplicate, but it's kind of like the same place I work for, but you're doing it in Spanish.
That's
Simple
correct.
as that. And the public radio part of it, though, is interesting. I've never been a fan, by the way, of public radio, in the sense that I think public radio in general gets it both ways. They can beg for the money, and they can underwrite the money. And that's not something with you and me. That's the whole doggone system of public radio. I think underwriting has become just another way to do a commercial. But we can have that debate down the line. That you operate within do you operate within the public radio spectrum? In other words, rules and regulations of public radio, or do you operate as a commercial entity?
No, public radio.
Okay, so you have some restrictions on how you can raise revenue.
That's correct.
All right, so you underwrite, you have underwriting, and you will do fundraising.
Fundraising, yes.
How often during the year do you fundraise?
Twice a year.
Okay. Has that been successful?
Yes.
Can you tell me how much you annually raise?
Well, the big one they would do is about $40,000 to $60,000, and then you do a small fundraisers in the community between $5,000 and $10,000.
All right, so you're okay, but I saw a report where you're generating about $250,000 of revenue annually.
Yes.
The rest
because
is in
we have
underwriting.
Underwriting.
Okay. Do you have a sales staff that does that? You're the president general manager, but you're out there, working your tail off on news stories. So this is a small shop. How many employees do you have?
2 employees.
2.
That's correct.
2 full-time employees. That's it.
That's it.
You have part-time employees.
We got a lot of volunteers, no part-time employees.
So do you do the underwriting?
Well, not me. It's the other staff do the underwriting. I used to do it before, 10 years ago.
But you say there's only 2 full-time employees there.
Yes.
Is the sales staff volunteer?
We don't have a sales staff. The other staff just send out the proposals for the underwriting.
Okay, you got all that? So that's some of the finances. We'll talk about what the transactional problem is here with public radio. We have well, you saw the statement from the representative of the big public radio umbrella here, and we'll try to figure out more about this when we come back. Stay with us. So Latino Public Radio, if I understand this correctly, WRNI 1290 AM which by the way has got a pretty good signal. It's been operating for 22 years on that signal, correct?
No. 6 years and that's it.
6 years.
Yes, that one.
Got that? Because I remember listening to Rhode Island Public Radio on 1290.
That's correct.
And they let that go with a lease purchase option to you guys. Is that
yes.
the story? And Rhode Island Public Radio has become FM oriented and is doing very well, by the way. And I respect all the work that they do on Rhode Island Public Radio. We have Ian Donis here from time to time talking about some issues, and they do some good work. I don't like the structure of public radio in general, but that's a whole different conversation. So do you have a formal lease purchase agreement for 1290 with Rhode Island Public Radio?
We have one. It was an issue between the past president of the board and the radio.
Dr. Rodriguez?
Yes, he resigned in December. At that time, we decided that we don't have the funds, sufficient funds, to purchase the radio. Then I approached Malatia and say,
Mr. Malatia is the general manager of Rhode Island Public Radio.
That's correct.
Right.
Yes, say why we don't go back, renegotiate. 10 years is $400,000. You have a down payment of $40,000. Give me the opportunity that you guys had with Boston University when you were struggling years ago, and you create the Public Radio Conversion Act to stop Boston University to take public radio out of Rhode Island. 10 years.
I remember that. In fact, at the time, the Attorney General got involved in that conversation.
Very heavily.
Patrick Lynch was involved in that conversation. I remember that. Okay.
And then I told them, is you guys give me the opportunity, you hold the finance for 10 years, or go next door, the Rhode Island Foundation.
You're just trying to renegotiate the note. That's all you're trying to do.
That's right, yeah.
So right now, what are the terms, since it's public radio, we're talking about this pretty openly. What are the terms right now? Are you supposed to make some kind of lump sum $400,000 payment right now, or?
No, I cannot. We can no longer raise the money. I mean, that's the reason I went back to the negotiating.
Are you in arrears on the current lease?
No. We up to the day when we signed on Saturday. They realistic. They owe me $20,000 because they got a $40,000 down payment. They took $20,000 out of the $40,000 for legal fee. I don't know what legal fee they spend out. And they started negotiating behind my back with some of the other board members, and other stuff happened. But we tried to reach them, myself, from December 7th into today. Malatia, Bill Stone, the chairman of the board of Rhode Island Public Radio, both know what I want to tell them, and they don't want to negotiate.
Have you had a meeting?
Just one meeting, December 7th.
Okay, that was the meeting. That's the last meeting that you've had.
That I had with them.
Yeah.
They have other meetings with some of the board members of the radio, but no, they don't want to sit down
Are
with
you
me.
in lockstep with your own board? I mean, are you together with your board?
The board's fine. Yeah, the board, the whole board now changed. It's a new board and the radio.
They want to keep the project going.
We're going to keep it going. It's online or...
No, I understand, but they want to keep the radio station on the air and open.
That's correct.
But what happened with Dr. Rodriguez's leaving the board? Why did that impact your business relationship with Rhode Island Public Radio? What happened?
Well, I don't want to talk about what happened between me and Dr. Rodriguez or what happened
before that. You had a
that.
thing with him? You had a disagreement over something?
No, we had disagreement, and that is we're supposed to clean inside the house, and we let it go.
Did he have a financial, was he a contributor to keeping the station operations going?
Oh, everybody, not only him.
Okay.
All my family, all my friends, everybody in the community.
So he left the board for his own reasons. Why did that change your transactional relationship with Rhode Island Public Radio?
Remember, it used to be a team. It used to be a strong team with Dr. Rodriguez, myself, the whole board. We have a huge corporation. They're going to give us the money to purchase the radio. And when they saw the relationship deteriorate, they say, we're going to hold on for a little bit and see what's going to happen.
So you have your own sugar daddy that was going to make this thing happen.
Oh, yes.
And it's gone because Dr. Rodriguez is left.
No, they didn't go with that. They're gone because they find out about the situation, the relationship between both of those.
Between you and him.
Yeah.
So you have a personnel, a human resources, business conflict with Dr. Rodriguez that is affecting the ability for you to have your financiers come in and finish the transaction due with Rhode Island Public Radio.
No, not that way. They pull out. I mean, I would do the same thing when they find out what was going on. I will pull out. But what we're asking Rhode Island Public Radio to renegotiate the deal and give us the 10 years and the $400,000 note to purchase the radio. Because public radio is going up and down. Everybody have financial problems. It's not only us. They had it before. Mm-hmm. And they give us 10 years to pay the $400,000. I think they're doing a good service to the Latino community.
What is the current term of the note right now? What's due? So $400,000 is the put. That is what is that. If you gave them $400,000 today, you'd own the license, correct?
No, not anymore because they already put the plug out of the deal.
But you had a contract or lease contract that would have been made whole if you had paid them $400,000.
Oh yes.
But now the deal how do they walk away from a deal? Did they serve you notice that the deal?
It's a lot of conversation went between Rhode Island Public Radio and Latino Public Radio. That's why I approached them December 7th to say, let's renegotiate.
You don't
the deal.
have a valid contract right now, is what you're saying?
No, the contract expired, everything expired Saturday at midnight.
Meaning you have to, if you paid them $400,000 Saturday at midnight, you'd be good.
If they take the money, yes.
Well, you must have an agreement that either they take the money or they don't.
They don't want the money now. The reason they're avoiding me, they're avoiding the meeting, they don't want the money.
But it doesn't matter what they want. If you have an agreement that says on this date, if a certain payment is due on time, then the license transfers.
No, because the license already through the FCC, everything else, we cannot afford to go month-to-month payments. And they know that. And they will put impression on us and say, you guys don't have the money. And I say, I'm not going to get into a debt, owning somebody a lot of money for rent month to month.
I have a lot of experience in this because I've owned and sold radio stations. So I understand how this works. And I'll ask a couple of key questions when we come back. Stay with us. All right, so I think I understand. Right now, Latino Public Radio has no viable agreement, lease agreement with Rhode Island Public Radio. No. So they're pulling the paper back. They're taking the paper back. They're taking their collateral, which is the assets attached to the license for $12.90, and they're going to operate simulcast what they're doing right now?
Yeah, they say they're going to simulcast.
Okay, and they're going to leave Latino Public Radio to do their own business online. Good luck. Nice to have met you. See you. That's what you have as a problem right now. Yet you have a market of listeners that are going to be very, very disappointed over not having the content that you've been producing for all these years, in the last 6 years on 1290, correct?
That's correct.
Are there no other financial entities, and maybe there'll be some here this evening watching the show that say, hey, that's not right, that have come to support and make a bid, a new fresh bid to the, you're saying you want a 10-year note for 40 G's a year and you can make that work?
Oh yeah, it will make the station sustainable. That's what I want. I mean, I want to start fresh. I want to financially get out of my, go back into the community, say, listen, we purchased the radio.
Do you have security and collateral to back up that promise?
Oh yes,
Because if I'm giving you paper, if I'm going to give you $400,000 in paper over 10 years, I want to make sure that I got your car, your house, whatever. Whatever company or legitimate organization is making that promise, I want collateral. In case you can't pay, I'm going to go get that collateral and take the station back. Are you providing security along with this offer?
We can provide security for them, yes.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they don't want terms. Maybe they expected the $400,000 in cash immediately. Is 400 the number right now? You don't know because you haven't had a conversation. Is that what you're telling me?
I think they want to jack up the price. The reason they don't want to negotiate back with me is because they just want maybe $500,000 more for the station. I mean, they overpaid for the station 10 years ago.
Yeah. What are you asking the AG to do?
No, I approached the AG because they use the Public Radio Conversion Act. I know it's some loopholes in that law because it was made by one of the board members.
Yeah. You want the same kind of advocacy from the AG's office?
Yes, but I also want to see how far we can go with the Public Radio Conversion Act. Maybe I go back to the legislature and say you have to amendment or change some.
Where is the Latino political community in this whole thing?
Oh yeah, they're behind the radio station. I had a meeting with all of them yesterday. I've been meeting with a lot of politicians. But the thing is, I don't want to make this like, asking for money from the government. I just want to make the radio sustainable, go into an understanding with Rhode Island Public Radio, 10 years agreement.
Do you think the model of public radio is where you should be here? What about a commercial model?
I used to do commercial radio 27 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard for me to go back to commercial radio.
Why?
I mean, you have to.
I've been working in it for 35 years. Not so bad.
I know. It's good. I mean, I respect commercial radio. I think what we do in public radio, and my side, the way I see public radio, the service that we provide to the community, all the programmings. I mean, we don't beg for money all the time in the year because it's a poor community. We try. We think that if we can get grants and
I will tell you, from a business standpoint, the Latino community is a fertile economic community.
Oh, it's growing. It's growing.
Why in God's name wouldn't you just find some business partners and give them reasonably what you want and just buy that sucker and turn it into a commercial property? That's what I'd be doing. That would be my solution.
Yeah, we had 3 commercials, Hispanic radio station in the market at this moment.
Right.
I mean, when you do a lot of news, information, the way we do, you have to understand, to read commercial, it will be a little different.
All right, so when you say you're the only one, that's right. There are other Latino stations that are commercially run.
They are commercially run.
And you think you do a very viable job based on the way you do things.
It would be better for the community to have a public radio because it's commercial free and you can run longer news stories and longer programs.
So, interesting. It's fascinating. I find it fascinating as a broadcaster that this is going on. We invited the general manager, Mr. Malatia, here to talk about this. He graciously declined our invitation. Perhaps he'll rethink that next week when we follow up on this, because I'd like to see how this whole thing turns out. So we'll keep you informed. You keep us informed. Good luck on that.
Thank you.
All right. By the way, he's very well respected in the political community. Tough questions. You know, I hate guys like that. We'll be right back. Got to be a solution to this Latino Public Radio situation. I'm intrigued by this. We'll dig in. Passover and Good Friday observances tomorrow. Easter, of course, this weekend. We'll cover all that tomorrow. See ya.